The mission is the boss. Don't ever get too comfortable who you work for, because the mission is what are the key things that we got to go do, and who are the best people in the company that can help you execute.
Welcome to the Who's Elvis Round Here podcast. This is where I get to talk to some of the coolest leaders on this planet to get to understand what makes them tick and to learn what they think we need to do better every day to release the potential of our people. And I am delighted today to be joined with Azita Martin. Welcome, Azita. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be here. I remember meeting you remotely, or read an article about you, and I reached out to you because I thought what you do is really cool. I'm so excited to be here on your podcast.
It's great to have you. Yeah, we've been kind of coexisting in each other's spheres remotely for some time, but actually to get to talk to you and to learn a bit more about some of your beliefs around what makes business great is wonderful. So look, Azita, can you give us a bit of context on who you are and what you get up to?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Azita Martin, Vice President of NVIDIA's AI solutions for the retail and consumer packaged good industries. So I help, and my team helps companies in the retail business and consumer packaged good figure out what are the best AI use cases that can really help propel their business.
Wow, it's a pretty rock and roll sphere to be working in. I mean, the speed of change is incredible. And I guess, therefore, you have to not only be able to work brilliantly with insights, but you have to be fantastic at managing transformation and helping people adopt that. So you've had a really interesting career through all sorts of different industries over that time. But it sounds to me as if this place you're in right now just fits you well.
It absolutely does. I mean, I think all of us throughout our life have ups and downs in our career journeys. And I, started as an aerospace engineer and went to many, high-tech companies, some amazing ones, went to some startups. And, I just knew AI, 7 years ago when I joined NVIDIA, I knew AI was going to be the next wave of technology. And so when the opportunity came where my former boss at one of the previous companies I worked at decided to retire and move back to the UK, and came to me and said, I think you're going to be the right person to replace me, I just jumped at the opportunity. And so I am in a very, very happy place. And I love what I do. You've written a book around love your work, love your life. And frankly, this is for me, a great place to be in life because I love what I do every day.
How wonderful. And I feel it when you speak about it. So it's wonderful when you get that energy working well, because as you say, you can just show up with a different game, because when you've got that energy, you'll do much better work and always have a smile on your face, which people enjoy. So look, tell me, what's the story you love to tell that people love to hear?
Well, to be honest with you, I think one of the things that made the most impact for me was listening to Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech. That was many, many, many years ago. But he said, basically that, it's like you spend so much of your life working and you have limited number of hours in life. And so don't spend it making others happy. Figure out, what matters most and, what gets your passion going, which is, what you talk about all the time. Because if you love what you do, you're going to be really good at it. And when you're really good at it, that's your fastest path to leadership. And so I really believe that, finding what gets you excited and trying to figure out what kind of roles, what kind of jobs, what kind of companies give you the opportunity to do what you love, that is the path to leadership.
Yeah. And then when all that clicks, life just becomes more technicolor. It's a wonderful place to be. And, I'm experiencing it now. I've experienced it numerous times. And I guess for me, the way to do that, because a lot of people say, how do you find that thing? For me, the answer was experimentation. I just tried lots of things until something clicked. Is that kind of what you learned along the path, or is there another way to make sure you are exploring these things in a cool way to find out what you love?
Well, I think all of us, no matter how smart we think we are, we have a lot to learn from others. So
Sure.
I'm a great believer in always getting out, getting to know people, helping people when you can, so that when you need help, they're there for you. I personally have an incredible passion for helping young women that are going to college get internships and get jobs. So
Wow.
that's really a big passion for me. And so, I think that you get to know a lot of people, you ask a lot of questions, you really got to read a lot about what's happening, whatever your passion is, whether it's fashion, whether it's technology, whether it's, AI, read a lot about that space and learn what are the trends. And from that, you got to learn, right? And whether it's taking courses in college, there's so many online courses, there's so many incredible podcasts about anything that you want to learn, that you just got to have to make yourself better. So, I say, be an ever learning machine.
Yeah.
Maybe because my AI background, it's like, the AI models are always learning. They're always getting better and better with time. And that's what we need to be as human beings, is challenging ourselves, putting really, really high standards for ourselves. Sometimes thinking maybe it's scary and not achievable. But isn't there a famous saying that says, if you're not scared, you're not thinking big enough, right? And
Yeah, it's true.
and
Yeah.
so, truly what I think is, try to get yourself to be better at what you like, and surround yourself by incredibly smart people, because you have so much to learn from smarter people. And that's what I love about NVIDIA. I have never in my life worked with so many smart people. I mean, it is incredible how I feel surrounded by very, very smart people, and going to work for me is every day is like, it's like hanging out with friends. And I'm not saying they're all best friends, but when you like people and when you're learning something from them, that's key. And that's my recommendation.
I love it. I love it. So, and actually, this whole internship thing, what you're doing to help, women have these experiences to help them get into work, I think is massively important, because again, they're getting those experiments, they're getting live feedback on what works and what doesn't. My daughter is just doing internships right now. The difference in doing 3 or 4 of those to her understanding of who she is and where she's going is huge. But your addition to that is keep learning. You're a learning machine. Try stuff out, learn stuff, talk to lots of people. And in doing so, you're just going to have enough stimulus, enough insights to make more informed decisions. And then hopefully, when we try these jobs out, we've got more of a chance that they're going to fit who we are, right? So I love that. Now, you've worked with lots of teams in lots of different organizations. What's your number one tip for making sure we get the best out of our people?
I think it's challenging our people to do the best work they can do, and asking them a lot of questions. I'll be honest with you, the greatest leader I have ever known, other than Steve Jobs, who's an icon in Silicon Valley, is NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen. Jensen is scary smart, right?
Yeah.
And he has hired the smartest people in the world. Yet when you go into a meeting with him, he's always asking these incredibly challenging questions that you think, why didn't I think of that? And so I really think when you set a very high bar for your people, and when you challenge them to meet that high bar, and you ask them a lot of questions, have you thought about this? How would you do this? That's when each person rises to the level of being great. And again, that comes with surrounding yourself by smart people, because you're not going to know all the answers. But it's okay to say, you know, I didn't think about it. And I don't have the answer right now, but I will get back to you. Because that's the culture of NVIDIA. The culture of NVIDIA is excellence, you know, moving fast, but transparency. Like when you don't know the answer, don't bullshit. Just go figure it out and come back.
So much time and energy is wasted on this ridiculous idea that leaders need to have all the answers. And I mean, it's such a ridiculous philosophy because you never can. Obviously, in your world, it's impossible because today is nothing like yesterday, right? Things are changing so fast. So
Exactly.
to say you have the answers, you know, you've got to be able to have foresight, prophecy, and magical wizard skills, I think. So it would be crazy to say you can. So the honesty of just saying, you know what, I don't know, but together we can find out the answer, I think is incredibly liberating because it's role modeling to other people that actually, as a leader, that's the skill we're after. People that find the answers, which I think is a very truthful, honest way of being. And what I love about this question thing is, again, the traditional way of leading was, you know, I know where we're going that way, follow me. And actually what you're just giving some lovely examples of is people saying, actually, I want you to work out where we're going. Let's do this together. I'm going to ask you some questions and let's see what we uncover. And of course, to do that, you have to have great talent because if they can't answer those questions and help you find the way through it, you've got the wrong people on board for that type of leadership style, right? So it particularly works well when you are elevating the standards by having great talent around you.
Yeah, I would challenge you a little bit on that. I would just say leaders have to have a vision. But how do you execute that vision is they don't always have the answer to that, right? You hire really good people that help you execute on that vision. But a leader has to inspire.
Sure.
And the way you inspire people is by painting a vision, again, that, you know, gets people excited about, you know, we're going to go this way. Here's the reason why. Here's the changes that are happening in the world and around us that, you know, we can, you know, capitalize and go after, and then start asking questions. What can we do to do this or that? And what are some ideas that you have? You know, how should we prioritize things? So, you know, it's having a vision and getting people excited. In fact, that's another interesting thing about the culture at NVIDIA. I remember Jensen multiple times saying, you know, your goal should be to have nobody working for you, but as many as the smartest people in the company so excited about your vision that they want to be on your project, on your team, helping you out. And that's not an easy thing to do in a company where you're very lean and you have very few people. But that is probably the biggest challenge that I feel he has given us. It's how do you have a vision and be able to articulate that vision, whatever that may be, the opportunity for NVIDIA, the opportunity to help drug companies find, you know, cure to cancer faster. Those kind of things that gets people excited and says, hey, I want to come help you out. Let's go do this together. And we do that a lot at NVIDIA, and it's a lot of fun.
It's amazing. I've always thought that organizations should be way more fluid about the way that they staff themselves. And I always like the idea of having a free market economy within a business where you basically say, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Who's in? Who wants to play with me? And actually, it sounds like in your business, you're actually making that a reality where, you know, the vision of the team and your project is actually attracting the best talent and the one that's inspired by that particular vision. And I guess people within the organization, they enjoy that fluidity, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, one of the biggest things at NVIDIA is the mission is the boss. Don't ever get too comfortable who you work for, because the mission is what are the key things that we got to go do in the next 3 to 6 months, and who are the best people in the company that can help you execute. And, you know, you basically go find those people and you go, hey, I need to borrow you for 6 months. And the executives to whom these people work for understand that that is our culture, because a lot of the mission as the boss comes from the founder of the company. And we all believe that he knows better what's coming around the corner than most of us. And so supporting that vision and that mission is almost an honor, where people love to do different things because you get better and better at what you are.
So what a strong thing to be able to say, the mission is the boss, and then line up all the energy and the talent behind that, which would, I mean, that's a really important cultural lever. I mean, that must have a massive impact on the way people show up and the way you pay attention, and on what gets valued and what doesn't, because it's all about that mission. And then the fact that we flex to make sure it happens means, I guess, we're always reading the signs of what's working, what's not, what needs more, what needs less, so that people are kind of owning a little bit more of that rather than just being told.
Yeah, it's funny, Chris. I can't tell you how many CEOs and their executives have visited NVIDIA in the past 2 years. And one of the questions they always ask is, what is so unique about your culture? What is it that has given you that agility and speed that you always execute better than anyone else, right? We can't be, a $5 trillion company without, this speed of execution. But then they go back and do exactly what they did before. They have committees for AI. It's like, no, there's no committee for AI. You pick your top, best business executives and ask them to challenge their team to go hire whatever, developers if they don't have it, and go figure out what it is that AI can do to make that part of your business go faster and be more efficient. So I would just say to all the executives that come and visit us at NVIDIA and ask us, what is unique about our culture, learn and actually try to implement some of that. Because if you go back and you're doing the exact same thing you've been doing for years, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've run so many study tours in the past where we go to some really cool companies, and the challenge is always that they see one thing that is extraordinary and they forget about all the culture that's supporting that one thing. And therefore, obviously they struggle when they implement it. And it's a hard gig to do, especially as you are such a unique culture. You are very different to anyone else. You've got, a different setup, different infrastructure, different leadership, and actually just to try and import things quite literally, it's never going to stick. So I do understand why the CEOs would struggle with that, but I also understand why they get very excited about it, because when they see you, they go, oh my God, we need a piece of that. But obviously stealing, lines, ethos, cultural levers, it just doesn't quite work in their context. I get that. Now, you always, when I do speak to you, you always have positive energy. You always have a little glint in your eye that makes me think that there is something that you're excited about in the future. What is it that gives you hope?
Honestly, for me, it's my friends. People, people are what bring the best and the worst in you, I think. And I feel that I'm surrounded by incredible friends. I have a very international, global background. So my friends are all from all walks of life. And, friends from sailing, friends, people from work that has become my best friends, people from various countries. And so I think that what gives me hope is being surrounded by incredible friends that stand by you through the worst times when you can't think clear, and they help you kind of dissect it and go, Azita, what's most important? And then laugh with you and celebrate with you through the best times of your life. And so friends are the ones that give me hope.
Yeah, well, hear to that. Without them, I don't know what life would be like. So we definitely need them in good and bad times. Look, Azita, it's been amazing talking to you. We've just also realised we've both got a passion for sailing, so more conversation about that coming up. What's exciting in the near horizon for you? What are the things in your diary where you're going, whoop, I can't wait for that?
Sailing.
There we go.
Sailing is definitely one of them. There's a lot of conferences coming up where I'm excited about, having an opportunity to share with people, what to be scared and not scared about in AI. What is the right way to implement it, and those kind of things, right? I feel fortunate enough that I get the opportunity to often interact with very, very senior executives at very large companies that have a great vision, or just come to me and say, how do we deal with this, right? And I focus on the retail industry, and one of the new things that have come out is OpenAI and Perplexity now have an AI shopping agent that can go and shop for human beings. And a lot of retail executives are going, whoa, like, what do I do here, right? And being able to guide them and advise them on how to do the right things, how to actually jump on the opportunity and leverage that to bring more traffic to their website, as opposed to fearing it. I think that's, exciting, and
it is.
That's the kind of stuff that is coming up in the next few months. Our NVIDIA conference is coming up. That's a phenomenal teaching opportunity for executives. So I'm looking forward to connecting with those people. And there's a lot of favorite executives that I know very well, with many companies like L'Oreal and Lowe's and Walmart, that I'm just excited for connecting with them, and then go sailing in the summer in the Mediterranean.
How very cool. Yeah. Well, look, what an exciting world in which you live. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Azita. Thank you so much for your insights. And look, good luck with the next adventure.
Thank you.